Gonna be honest.
You got faster than I would have.
Well, I know that M is number 13.
So
off the top of my head because I know it's the middle of the alphabet.
That Lima is number 1.
Hey,
DFW. He is number 1.
Hey, number 1 in DFW. He is number 1, and he's bringing out the Peach against Marcel,
which is his number 2 character at the moment. But he's been working a lot on really leveling up this Peach because he wants to be able to use her a lot more for a lot more matchups where Bayo really struggles.
For example, you know, not to name any particular people names or matchups, but MVD's Snake is one of them.
As well as even Marcel's Pichu. Marcel's Pichu has beaten Lima in the Peach matchup before. I don't know if they've actually played Bayo Pichu, and I feel like they've played again, and Lima maybe has evened it up. I could be wrong there. But I do know for a fact that Marcel has taken a set off of this Peach. And I also know for a fact that this is a pretty good matchup for Peach. I know that Samsora, for example, on a national level, has a lot of success against ESAM.
Just against rats in general.
Yeah, I know that's not the be-all, end-all, right? There's more players and more matchup stuff, but there is at least anecdotal evidence proving that this is pretty okay for Peach.
But honestly, I think a lot of people will say that like Pichu's probably a little bit better in this matchup because he has raw kill power that Pikachu can sometimes lack against a character like Peach who can really safely play outside of that threat zone, and that's what we're seeing a lot of. You know, it's just really solid defensive game from Lima. Great DI up by Marcel right there. It was a circumstantial thing, but he was still DIing up. That's why he's alive, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Is just the ability to throw out an aerial and kill a Peach.
Right, and Pikachu definitely would have killed there. I feel like Pikachu is definitely better in camping matchups, and Pichu is better in matchups where camping isn't really that strong or that viable of an option. Where against Peach, I feel like Thunder Jolt camping isn't nearly as strong because you can float outside of those ranges at a point where you make Pichu or Pikachu commit.
Oh my gosh! Remember the upward angled forward smash, the pan coming out. Oh my gosh, man, you know, as good as Peach is in this matchup, right? Like, that's one of the big things that you were talking about it. A lot of people realized early on was that she doesn't worry about Thunder Jolts, approaching with Thunder Jolts the same way that a lot of other characters do. And we see him taking huge advantage of that against Marcel so far, where he's doing a lot of damage to himself, a lot of damage to Lima right now, though. 81%, he's barely able to make it back.
Okay. Man, that was a really scary situation, but Float is so good at getting away from a ledge trap where normally a lot of players wouldn't have, or characters, rather, wouldn't have an option to kind of get off the ledge there for free without committing. Now, pushing back on this platform. Marcel, I mean, there's quite a few things that can KO at this percent. Oh, I was about to list a forward tilt and going above the ledge with one. Forward tilt's not quite as strong as it used to be, but against Peach, it feels pretty patched sometimes.
Yeah, you got to worry, of course, that, you know, the parasol is obviously something that will knock you away if it's spaced correctly, but spaced incorrectly, you shield it. And like you said, man, speak it into existence. That forward tilt comes out, so too does the Thunder, but he does not get only the drag down, which would have secured the kill. Forward smash. A very good recovery by Lima.
Yeah, that drift was nice. He was in a position where it was awkward for Marcel to go for anything aggressive without just giving up a potential there. Like, maybe you could go off for a fair, but you're definitely not killing at that point. You're resetting Lima's resources.
Man, Marcel getting off a ledge, though, has been so good. Like, Lima hasn't been able to keep him stuck there really at all.
And that's a quality trait of Pichu and Pikachu. They just get off the ledge for free a lot of the times, even against a character like Pichu has really solid ledge chopping tools.
Oh, it's a winky face, so it will be able to get the kill, though.
And that perfect angle as well. Marcel really, without a jump out there, didn't have a lot of angle options. I guess the only thing he could really hope to do there is Z-catching it, maybe. Yeah,
catch it with an air, you know?
Yeah, maybe catch with an air, and then recover from another angle where Lima's able to set something up, like maybe daring off stage to cover that two-frame, or maybe just have time to set up the ledge trap afterwards. You just are giving up time that you can't afford.
Yeah. And it's tough, you know, Pichu at 160% like Marcel was, obviously, you know, you're playing in a situation where one hit means death, and man, he was one hit away, like just a couple pixels off, and he would have had that game as well. I don't blame him for going back to PS2, because honestly, I feel like he made you know, a couple of really good changes in that game. Particularly, he realized, like, okay, I don't get to just run away onto these platforms for free, right? I do have to meet Lima on the ground occasionally. We see him go for another quick cheesy kill.
Yeah.
But that retreat to the platform right there with Lima in that end lag from getting on stage, I really like that retreat.
And that short float back air out of shield is so important. A lot of characters also struggle dealing with pancaking from this character, but with Peach, because you're able to do a short float, you don't have to deal with that awkward jump height being so quick and so high for a lot of characters. Just come back down with the back air so fast. Yeah,
a lot of options right there, man. Honestly, I really like what Marcel did with that forward smash at the ledge, too. He was looking if, in case Lima did a Peach Bomber, the forward smash would take care of that. He still ties out the side. My gosh, this rat is light.
Yeah. Across the stage, nerfed fair. Either way.
I'll see. Just waiting to see if Lima can get back on stage around the ledge trap, and he does. But how long will this last? Because he still hasn't been able to get out of the corner. I mean, honestly, the corner pressure from Marcel has been excellent. Like, you can see that he understands just how deep Lima can go at any given time.
And especially there afterwards, the juggling potential. He was able to step out and wait out floats and air dodges and space just outside of Lima's range to get that forward smash. Now it's Lima's turn, though. That damage racked up so fast.
Ooh, the back air. Lima tried to get a punish on it, but it was spaced correctly from Marcel. Now, nothing to do with that parasol, but let's see if he can continue. Yes, keeping the Peach in the corner.
But Lima, again, learning to recover at better angles here. In the past against Marcel,
oh, that's it.
Not quite. Wow. I'm surprised. The DI was phenomenal there. You saw the sparks and everything.
Back air, yeah. It's a little bit stale. That's a situation where I'd like to see Marcel get a little aggressive. I mean, obviously, he doesn't have to. This ledge trapping is working out so well for him. But you have that situation where you force the jump with that Thunder Jolt, you know where he's going to go. You go out there with that forward air and you secure that kill.
Now we're seeing, oh yeah, back air there definitely would have killed. Forward tilt's going to kill. Great angle! But wow, the down air just killed Raw.
Pichu's so light. I mean, you can see that Marcel has been so in control in so many versions of this game, especially right there at the ledge. That's a stitch in Lima's hand. You're going to have to see Marcel play around this carefully because it's just been those 1 or 2 losses because of the damage that Lima can do to him at any moment is why he's losing the game.
Sitting at 52 quickly. You know, I guess Pichu can put on the damage pretty quick and kill pretty early, but he's playing at a very slow pace right now.
Ooh, still going for that up air. Would have set up into that Thunder like we saw last time. And at 52%, doesn't matter if he gets just the spike or not.
Right that far at the ledge. Nair trying to chase a potential tech chase situation, but again, Lima can just float out, jump.
And Marcel at a disadvantage has honestly been great. It's just the fact that Lima's not getting a whole lot of non-guaranteed conversions. It's a whole lot of, like, this is damage. Dash attack.
Wow. And one thing I was talking about with the Oryx really early on in the metagame is he said, against Peach, a lot of people kind of let her get away with a lot of stuff for free. If you tech roll away, a lot of the time she's not fast enough to chase it without her committing to something. And there we saw a tech roll away. He almost got away, but the dash attack early commitment from Lima on a read, he had to read it.
Yeah.
And was able to get there with a late hit dash attack, and that was enough to kill on Pichu. Still, I think pertinent advice a lot of the time that tech roll away forces certain options out of Peach, and she can't always kill you for it at low percents, but at this percent,
yeah, go for it.
Pichu's at a high enough percent. Lima kind of checkmated him.
Yeah, definitely not a situation where you can do a lot as a Pichu, but you know, Marcel's still going to be able to do some damage in bracket. He's still got losers ahead of him, but I do want to draw attention to the fact that over the last few weeks, you know, especially after the Shockwave League has started out, Marcel has been very consistently making it like top 8 winners side. And dude's been improving.